You know, it's probably one of the most frightening moments for any pet owner. That sudden, awful realization that something is seriously wrong with your furry family member. Your heart just pounds, your mind starts racing, and it's so easy for panic to take over. But here's the thing. In those critical minutes, having a clear plan can make all the difference. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. How to navigate a pet emergency right here in Singapore with confidence. So picture this. It's late at night, your regular vet is closed, and your pet is really struggling. What do? I mean, this is the question we all absolutely dread, right? Where do you even go? Who should you call? And maybe most importantly, what should you be doing right this second? Well, don't worry. We're going to walk through all the answers step by step so you can go from feeling that panic to taking real purposeful action. Okay, first things first. Is it really an emergency? Let's talk about recognizing those red flags. How do you tell if what you're seeing is a true life-threatening situation? The very first step is just to quickly and calmly assess what's going on. So let's dive into the signs that mean you gotta act and act fast. All right, these symptoms right here, they pretty much take all the guesswork out of it. If you see any of these things, I'm talking severe trouble breathing, your pet collapsing, or some kind of major trauma like a fall or a car accident, the decision is already made. This isn't a wait and see kind of thing. It's a go to the vet right now situation. And I really want to highlight that one about male cats straining to urinate. Seriously, that can become fatal incredibly quickly, so please take it seriously. So here's the big decision, right? When do you just jump in the car, and when should you call first? It's actually pretty simple. If you're seeing any of those severe, life-threatening signs we just talked about, like collapsing or trouble breathing, you go immediately. But if the symptoms are more mild, like maybe a single vomit, but your pet is still kind of bright and stable, that's when you call first. The team on the phone can give you amazing advice. And honestly, the golden rule is always this: when in doubt, just call. They'd much rather you call than wait. Okay, so you've identified it's an emergency. Now we're talking about your first 5 minutes. The clock is officially ticking. And believe me, what you do right now can have a huge impact. So let's break down the critical actions you need to take immediately. All right, let's walk through this. Step 1, safety. Get your pet and yourself away from any danger. That means away from traffic, toxins, whatever it is. Step 2, check their breathing. Look at their gums. If they're bluish or gray, that's a really bad sign. It means they're not getting enough oxygen, and you need to go now. Step 3, and this is absolutely critical, call an emergency vet. Even if you're already grabbing your keys and heading for the door, that call lets the team prepare for your arrival. And finally, step 4, gather key info. What happened? When? If you suspect poisoning, seriously, just bring the packaging or even a quick photo of it. That can literally be a lifesaver. Okay, next up, choosing where to go. You're staying calm, you've taken those first few steps, and now it's time to get moving. But the big question is, where exactly are you heading? In a place like Singapore, you've got options, which is great, but choosing the right one fast is what really matters. So here are just a few examples of some of the 24-hour hospitals you'll find around Singapore. Now, don't worry about memorizing this list. The real point here is to understand what you're looking for: a dedicated 24/7 facility that can handle emergencies. The best thing you can do is have 1 or 2 of these in mind for your specific area, whether you're in the east, west, wherever. That's a huge part of being prepared. And please pay attention to this one. It's maybe the most practical piece of advice I can give you. In a real emergency, don't just think about which vet is closest by distance. You need to choose the one with the shortest travel time right now. So pull up your phone, check the live traffic. A hospital that's 5 kilometers further away but saves you 10 minutes in traffic? That's the one you go to. Every single minute counts. All right, next section. You're on the way to get help. You're in the car, you're heading to the hospital. That travel time is actually super important. It's your chance to prepare for a really smooth and efficient handover to the medical team when you get there. These 3 steps are all about saving precious time the second you arrive. First, if you somehow haven't already, call the hospital. Let them know you're coming and what's going on. Second, get your information ready: your pet's medical history, any meds they're on, your ID. And third, and this is huge, transport your pet safely. For cats, that means a secure carrier. For a bigger dog that's injured, you can use a blanket like a stretcher. Remember, a scared and hurting animal can be unpredictable, so this is for your safety just as much as theirs. This might seem like common sense, but in a moment of panic, it's easy to forget. The number one thing on the do list: stay calm. Your pet can totally feel your stress, so speak gently and just be their rock. Now, the don'ts are just as important. Please never, ever give your pet human painkillers or medicine. Things that are safe for us can be really toxic for them. Also, don't give them food or water. And finally, if the symptoms are serious, do not wait and see if it gets better. In an emergency, time is a resource you just can't get back. So, let's quickly explain the emergency room itself. You're heading to a 24-hour place, but you might hear different terms like emergency clinic or specialist hospital. It's actually really helpful to know the difference because it can affect both the level of care available and, honestly, the cost. The absolute easiest way to think about this is to compare it to human hospitals. An emergency vet clinic is basically like an A&E. They're amazing at stabilizing your pet and handling common emergencies. A specialist hospital, on the other hand, is like that A&E plus a high-tech, specialized ICU with advanced stuff like CT scans and MRIs. A lot of the big 24-hour places in Singapore are actually a mix of both. Knowing this just helps you understand why costs might be higher in some places and why your pet might need to be transferred for more complex care. Okay, we're shifting gears a little for this last section. So far, we've been talking about what to do during a crisis. But honestly, the absolute best thing you can do for your pet happens way before an emergency ever strikes. It's all about having a proactive plan. And this is a perfect example of being proactive, especially for us here in Singapore. Heatstroke. It is a very, very real danger with our year-round heat, and it's almost always preventable. We all know not to leave a pet in a parked car, but it's more than that. Think about how hot the pavement gets, or taking them for a run during the hottest part of the day. It can be overwhelming, especially for our flat-faced breeds like pugs and bulldogs. This is just a simple, life-saving piece of local know-how. Putting together a little emergency kit like this is such a smart move. These items aren't for doing surgery on your kitchen table, they're for helping you manage the situation until you can get to the vet. I really want to point out the muzzle or towel. Your pet could be the sweetest animal in the world, but when they're scared and in pain, they might bite. And just to be super clear, this kit is to support you on the way to the vet. It never, ever replaces professional care. Okay, if you do one thing after watching this, please let it be this. The number is 2. That's it. Save at least 2 24-hour vet contacts in your phone right now. One that's near your home and one that's near your workplace. Because let's be real, an emergency isn't always going to happen conveniently when you're on your sofa. This simple step means you're prepared no matter where you are. You could literally do it in the next 30 seconds. Here's another great tip for your peace of mind. Always make sure you're choosing an AVS licensed vet. AVS is Singapore's Animal and Veterinary Service, and that license is basically your guarantee that the clinic meets important minimum standards for care and facilities. It's just a simple check you can do online, and it helps you know you're making a responsible choice for your pet. And this really brings us to the most important takeaway of all. When you're in the middle of a scary emergency, it can feel like every single decision is on you, like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But you are not alone in this. There are teams of dedicated professionals whose entire job is to help you through this. So just make the call, tell them what you see, and let them guide you on what to do next. You don't have to figure it all out by yourself. So there you have it. You now have the tools. You know how to spot an emergency, what to do in those first few critical minutes, and how to get prepared ahead of time. So the only question left is your plan ready for tonight? Because really, the best time to prepare for an emergency is long before you'll ever need to.